Good day. My name is Munir Ajam. I am the founder and CEO of Uruk Project Management. This video is in two parts. In the first part, I will go through a few slides explaining the background behind Uruk and some key features that we want to highlight. And then we will go and do an actual demo, a quick demo. So basically just to introduce some of the concept that's inside Uruk. So it's not going to be a full-blown demo. That would require a lot of time. With this, let's jump in. When we started to think about the Uruk platform or a digital solution like what we are developing today, and that was years ago, we wanted to start with basically a well-defined foundation, sustainable foundation, because we want to build something that would last. So we established some criteria. If you want to build a platform to manage project, what should it be about or include? One of the key concepts we highlighted is we want to make sure that project management is integrated with the rest of the organization. What we mean here with strategic planning, with the business side, and with operation at the other end. So it has to look at the entire product delivery, which is the second bullet. It covers the entire product delivery lifecycle from idea all the way to market of the new product, whatever that product is, and assessment of success and ultimately closing the project. Now, in project management, there are a lot of common concepts across all industries and domain. However, there are some features that are specific to industries or domain. For example, project in the oil and gas sector might be different than project in technology. They might have some differences that we need to address. So the methodology has to be customizable to fit the various organizational types and domain and sectors. In addition to this, it has to be adaptable to the project type. For example, within the same organization, we can have an IT project versus an HR project, and also sizing complexity within the same type. So for example, if we're talking about a real estate project, obviously managing a small real estate project that could be a house or a villa is different than managing a small mall versus different than managing a high-rise tower or even a small community. So the methodological process has to adapt to type and size. Another important thing is that despite our years and decades of experience on projects all over the world, we still need to align with global guidelines and standard. However, when we say we align, that doesn't mean we restrict ourselves by them. If we see an opportunity to modify some of those concepts, we have modified them in the platform. And you will see this in the area of how do we manage the stages of a project where we align with, for example, with PMI framework and ISO. Finally, we have to remember the critical concept that we believe is in all projects, it has to be built on the three pillars. And those three pillars are processes or method, tools and technology, and obviously people and competence. Now, the significance of these color code, because a solution like what we are developing provide the processes and method built in. So this is why we keep saying that we are offering a solution, not a tool, right? Because it includes the processes, the method, the methodological process, the workflow, all of it is entirely built inside the platform. So we cover that area extremely well. It's a technology, it's a digital solution, so we are covering the technology part, at least partially. There are always organizations need to use some tools from outside, such as, for example, they want to use sophisticated scheduling, they need to have MS Project or Primavera. Those things are outside the Uruk platform. Now, in terms of people and competence, obviously we're not responsible for training and developing people in organization. However, when we built the platform, we built it with the mindset that we could have people that are a newcomer to project management with limited experience, and you could have some expert. So we built the platform with a lot of coaching and guiding, and also include collaboration place where within the organization people can collaborate or even outside the organization, in addition to a knowledge portal that's built into the platform. So although we cannot cover the people aspect completely, we did as much as we can to cover. Now, of course, we can supplement that as well as we start to engage with potential client and customers. We can help them with professional development and competency development in relation to the platform or even in project management in general. So these are the foundation we use, and these are basically the compass, the guide that we have been following since the beginning as we continue to develop the platform. In terms of, we want to emphasize as a product delivery solution, not a tool. Okay, so basically, if we want to summarize this in a sentence, it's a collaborative, highly adaptive digital product delivery solution that empower organization to lead project from idea to success. A long sentence, however, every single word here have a lot of meaning. Now, how do we know something like this works? And why do we bother to start a company and spend a lot of time and energy into building such a platform? Because we know the component of the methodological platform is well used all around the world in many organizations with high level of project management maturity, and we know it is successful. We know it delivers result. However, since we don't have the history ourselves, these are some data from outside. This is from StageGate.com as an organization, and they've done some outside agency to investigate the value of such a system. And basically, these are two of the data points they share, is that a stage gate model, I know the perceptions out there, the stage gate model often lead to delays or maybe take longer. However, numerous research, including this one, show that you can deliver a project faster if you use an effective project lifecycle stage gate model. And here they were showing 30% increase in speed to market, also more than double the chance of achieving on budget and on time performance, this is usually a big nightmare in organization to deliver project on time on budget parameters. This is another reference here from independent project analysis, a published book called Capital Project. So in this case here, it focused on thousands of projects that were benchmarked by IPA and summarized in a book by Mr. Paul Barshop. And basically what he's showing is that following a well-defined process like the one we are building, it actually helped organization achieve 5% increase in net present value versus what they have expected, right? So let's say they expected 10% profitability, they actually increase that based on what they expected. However, on the other side, if they don't follow a well-defined or they don't follow a project lifecycle model at all, they could see up to 45% decrease in their anticipated present value. So but basically that is saying that even if the project is complete, it could still suffer in terms of profitability. So it will be less profitable than expected. Now for us, what do we believe is that in order to manage project effectively, right? So going back, we believe every project, regardless whether that organization follow this or not, or whether it's well defined or not, there are 5 components of a product delivery method that in our view, and that's what we are building. It has to follow a project lifecycle model covering the entire product delivery lifecycle, as we have already stressed. This is an example. This is not one size fits all. This is adaptable. In order to manage success across that entire lifecycle, we have to make sure we manage every stage properly. And that's where we use the stage management processes that we have adopted from PMI and ISO and other form. Now, if we zoom in, and once we are in stage, the stage management process helps us manage a stage. Now, what happened in every stage? So in a typical stage, regardless how many stages you have in your methodology, whether you have 3 stages, 5 stages, or 10 stages, every stage must have a major stage deliverable as an output at the end, right? And then it needs to go through what we call it a stage gate. And the stage gate purpose is to verify that the work that was done before is good and meet the guideline, whatever guideline or stage gate criteria that the organization have established. And then, of course, if they want to continue with the project, they authorize going to the next stage. These are the primary major method component. However, there is a 5th element, and in this 5th element is the PM function, such as what PMI call knowledge areas, what ISO call subject area. We need to be able to manage scope, change, risk. I combine some of these together here. So scope, change, risk, opportunity, team, stakeholder, communication, task management, issues management. All of these need to be also managed. Now with this is basically what the Uruk platform is all about. However, let's re-stress quickly some critical differentiator, and these are leading the product delivery across the entire project lifecycle. I'm not going to go through read this. Some of this we covered already. I will leave it for you if you'd like to take your time to pause and read. And here I'm going to pause the slide part, and then I will go into the platform, and I will introduce some of the main concepts that we are covering. When you log into the Uruk platform, I did not go through the registration process. You will typically come upon this page, managing a program showing coming soon, hopefully by the end of November. We will have that active. Right now, what you will see is that these three areas, and I'm not going to go through all of this because, obviously we have a trial plan. Basically, you will be able to go on to the Uruk platform and register as an individual or as an organization. And you have about 7 days of trial where you can go and test and explore yourself. So you can go around and explore everything. So we're not going to show everything. The first things I want to show is basically when you come to the managing the project or project management homepage, you will see these two options, where basically either setting up a new project, it depends on what you want to do, or manage an existing project that you have already started. So the first thing I want to show here is starting a new project. And we click on that, and basically what you will see here, you will get some information about the project number, basically the person requesting the project setup. Well, before I continue, this is a form that have a lot of information. However, they're only wherever you see the asterisk is mandatory. So the project number is often generated automatically. Then we need to know who is the person requesting. And then if there's an idea owner, we need to document that could be the same person as the person requesting. These are mandatory. And the other thing that is mandatory here is you have to select a project sponsor. Now, someone should be a user in the system already and designated as a senior manager. This is the primary information that is required to do when you set up a project. However, there are other fields, and let me go quickly through them. Obviously, I forgot the project title. You can define the organizational unit, and you can have up to 3 level of organization unit. So in a large organization, that might be very useful to basically to divide the project. So if a division manager want to see all the project in their division, they will be able to, we need to build that into the platform. So organization need to add those divisions. Otherwise, all the projects are in one single account. The project manager, we don't have to define yet. We can do it later. Usually, whenever the sponsor said, yes, I want to activate this project, they will name the project manager. Here, there are some information about whether the project is part of a program or not, whether part of a strategic plan or not, and then any other relevant information that could be very useful for us and for you. Is basically as we start collecting data about the sector of the project, the domain, the classification. Again, we can explain all of these in further detail in future demo. We will be doing detailed demos in the future. So right now, basically, this is a setup. So any user, anyone with access to the system, they can go in and fill this information. And when they're happy and done, they submit. Now, when they submit, that the project is added to the system. It goes into what we call the parking lot. And it will stay in the parking lot until a sponsor, the sponsor that we name here, will go and name a project manager and activate the project, approve the project. So basically, we use the term activation. And with that project would come back to the project manager to continue working on the project. Now, when a project is approved or activated by the sponsor, it comes back to the project manager. And the first thing that the project manager must do is to decide on what tailored method to use. Now, before I go into explaining this, I need to go back to the idea that what we are doing is, remember I mentioned in the presentation slide, is everything needs to be tailored. So basically what we are doing, we are building tailored methods, mostly high level. We're not getting deep into a lot of these methods yet. But basically we are building methods. And right now in the system, there are 49 methods in these 3 areas. And so basically today, as soon as a client can sign up, you will be able to go, if your project could fit in any one of these, and obviously the general project category is for all projects. So you can do this immediately. So the minute you sign up, you can start using the system. However, what we are also doing is that if you like to build a method specific to your organization, we can do that, and then we can add it in here, and they will have access to it. For the time being, let's say you don't have your own process, you don't have your own method, you want to use what we have built, and we will continue to build. Let's say it's going to be a general project. I'm not going to go into, actually, no, let me go into capital intensive project. So the capital intensive project is a sector then basically within that sector, when you click it, if there are any domain below it, so if we have more detail, in this case, we have oil and gas, we have real estate. So let's say we can select oil and gas, and then that will give us another notice. With every click, something else is open. Now it asks us about the project classification. Is this something considered small, simple project, medium to moderate, or large and complex? Now this, we are using our generic term right now, but we can tailor that to organizations as well. So let's say we want to reuse a large and complex project. So we selected a large and complex project in this case. Now it asks us for the implementation stage. Now, typically large and complex project will use something we call Big Bang, because that means, you work on your project and you deliver the product at the end of the day. So it's not like agile incremental delivery. If it's software project, we'll probably be doing incremental iterative delivery. But for these large complex projects that are facilities project, you cannot, unless you phase the approach, you will deliver the facility in one shot at the end. So we'll say it's going to be a Big Bang. Now, the methodology is the same for all different type of method in this case, except, for example, for the implementation stage. And here we give you option. In the implementation stage, would you like it to be 1 stage, 2 stages, or 3 stages? For example, I like to have the implementation stage as 1, that's fine. Or I want to have design and build, or I want to have EPC, so engineering, procurement, and construction. So whatever you want, your preference. And let's say we're going to do design build. So I'm going to select stage, 2 stages. And then we say get tailored. And here you're going to get down, you get the option, you got describe the method we have built in. Obviously, it has to be a built-in method. And then if you want to see how does the project lifecycle look like, it's similar to what you've seen before. We have the concept discovery, we have concept and feasibility. In the development phase, we have design basis, we have strategy, we have a feed stage. And in this case, in delivery, we have engineering and procurement versus construction. If it was architecture project, we might have design build. And in parallel, we start to do operation readiness and initial operation, and finally we do closure. Now, let's say, you know what, I don't like this. I want to be able to go back, said 3 stages, right? And say get tailored. And then you go here, and you can see now, I put accept, I shouldn't. Let me go back. Sorry, I shouldn't have accepted, but basically it would have shown a different life cycle. Now I want to switch, basically select, we selected the tailored method, we're happy with it. There are other action, and remember, I'm not covering everything. But once we have a tailored method selected and we're happy with it, right, the next thing you will do is that if I go back to managing an existing project, I'm going to get these 3 areas here, right? But later on, we might combine the PM function and supporting action into one box. But for now, what we're saying, we need the PLC management, if you remember from my presentation, and that is the life cycle. Now, this is an actual project we are working on today, and this is not oil and gas. This is basically a PMI summit that's happening in December. We are going to be an exhibitor there. So this is a project that I'm training, I'm using with one of our intern. We are training on how to use the methodology. So in this case, we use what we call a small, simple project. So if you notice here quickly, maybe the number of stages in gate are less than what we've seen before. But regardless what project, what methodology you use, when you come to PLC management, you're going to see the screen. Basically on top, you're going to see an image. And with the orange and dark orange, it means where we are or past. And then these small circles are the gate. So, and you can see this little indicator here. We are right now in this stage. You can see the same thing below. Basically, the stage gate 0 is activating the project. And then you have the first stage work was done, submitted, and gate approved. Second stage done, submitted, gate approved. And now, technically, we are on this stage. So we can go into any stage we want and manage that stage. I'm not going to go into the detail right now. I will pause. Now I'm going back into, we want to manage, so basically I showed you earlier the PLC management, and we go through sequence and we manage every stage, and we have the life cycle shown. Now when we go into a stage, assuming we are using what we call the simplified stage management process. In this case, this is a small project, so we were using the simplified stage management process, which if you notice here, you might find the relationship that look like PMI or ISO. You plan, we don't have initiation here because it's already initiated and authorized. So we have the planning, we have the implementation, we have the control, and we have the close. And the close, notice here, it's grayed out area because we cannot do it until the gate is approved. Now for the small project, planning the stage is very simple for us, right? Because mostly it's about adding a team member. So you can go assign team member. You can link to MS project. We provide template where you can link to, and those MS project you can import tasks from them. So you don't have to repeat. You don't have to do a lot of data entry. A lot of the common tasks that need to happen on a project, we have built them inside an MS project, and you can download them stage by stage. And then you can, of course, you can go and add to them if for whatever, because we cannot cover everything. So you can add. So for the basic simplified stage management, this is all what we need to do in planning. Obviously, some of the planning will be done on the MS project itself. Or you go to task management and you do it in the task management where you can start to add tasks. Let me quickly jump to task management. PM function. And you can see all the project tasks here, and the grayed area are the ones that are completed. So you can come here, you can create additional tasks, you can assign time member. So task management is built into the system. If I go back to where we were, basically we were in the planning, the stage. Then you go into developing the stage deliverable. In this case, I am in the PLC closure stage. So and this is a project that was complete and ready to be closed, right? So if I click on here, and then said, okay, the main deliverable, the main output is a stage closeout report. If you click on it, you will end up with a template, right? So that template is built in and where you can use it. Now, of course, you have opportunity for team member to comment and through on this section here. The person responsible for the task will be able to complete the work in here. And then at the end of the day, actually, because I was wondering why this is showing like this. This was submitted to the gate. This one, it's okay. So you can see now the boxes. So basically team member can come, the assigned team member, whoever you assign to do this, the only two people who can touch this is the person who's assigned to it, if different than the project manager, and the project manager, right? However, let's say you have 20 team member on your project, those 20 team member can actually put comment here, right? But they cannot fill the field. So once everything is happy here, completed, the project manager and the team could meet and come back together, said, okay, guys, let's talk about all of this. Let's see the comment. They review it together as a team, or if it's a small project, maybe the project manager can do it on his or her own. And then once they're happy with all of that, said, okay, we can submit it. Submitting basically send that deliverable, that stage deliverable, to the stage gate for review by the sponsor and maybe other management people that need to be involved and approve, right? And you can save as a draft and come back and finish it later. And once you're done, you can export as a deliverable and it goes to the document management system. Now let's go back and said, I covered some of the stuff. I need now to talk about the PM function. Remember we mentioned there are PM function. In this case, we are splitting them between function and supporting action. So let's say we want to manage an existing project. Now, it's always what will come up here is basically if you have a project in memory saved, that will go there. So if I click on PM function, it's going to take me probably to the project. Yeah, the project that I had selected already before. If I do not want that project, I can go back and select another project. So let's say here what we have built so far, we have not built everything, but basically what we have built is simplified modules. And the reason right now we build simplified modules is because we wanted to be able to use that information here, although through manual data entry, to create performance chart or report. So basically, with exception to the sustainability management, basically all of these are simplified modules. Let's, for example, take a look at cost management. In the area of cost management, we have a place where you can enter the different estimates that you have developed across the life cycle. And once these will be opened at a certain time and they close. For example, the first estimate will open after stage gate 1 in a standard model. And once the feasibility study is approved, that an estimate number 1 is uploaded, then you can we close it. So there are some information here, and then this information here is we have decided that this project we're going to report on it weekly. So at the end of every week on a Friday, and you define those, you can define what you want, right? Basically, we go enter the data, and that data you will see it later translated into a performance chart. So this is the cost area. Scheduling, you will see something similar, right? If I go back, change management, you can see something similar. It didn't load. Because we don't have any data probably on this project. Communication management, you have basically some field to fill, right? All of this, again, I'm not going to go through detail on every one of them, but basically you will be able to explore and see for yourself. Again, I emphasize these are simplified module right now because at this time we focus on getting the lifecycle model out in the market, and the rest of the stuff, because some of this could be managed through other tools and systems within organization, we decide we will add these in the future. Except sustainability management, because we partner with Green Project Management Global, and we entered basically where you can do this. And there are a couple of fields here to fill. Then you can go to stage management, where you can build your stage management, sustainability management plan. You can build it in here when you are done. And all of this is from Green Project Management. You can save it as an ongoing. Basically, let's say you want to continue to work on this during the months. You keep it, you do whatever you want to do, and you save. And then let's say at the end of the month, you want to submit it with your monthly report. You submit it as a version, and that will become a version that is controlled in the document management system. So you'll have version 1, version 2, version 3. So that will be the ability to control that way. We can also do P5 impact. P5 is that the term that Green Project Management use for people, process, product, right? Product and process that you can see on top. And then you have people, social impact, basically, and then you have planet, down below, planet, environmental impact, and you have prosperity. So basically, it's a triple bottom line of people, planet, profit or prosperity, and then GPM added to it, the product and the process. And same thing as before, they can enter the data, you can save as ongoing, and then when they want to submit, let's say monthly or quarterly, whatever they prefer, they can submit as a version. I quickly cover this as well because this is part of, so we call it supporting action because it's just for categorization. We can basically link this to PM function. And here we include the task management. We include some aspect for funding the project. Issues management is here as well. And we also include captured lessons and basically project success module. Now, the only thing I have not talked about yet, and with this I will conclude this demo, is performance dashboard. And we look at performance dashboard. So far, we have built about 30 plus performance chart in the system. And these could be different type. What you can see here, for example, the cost index, this is shows where are you at that point in time, right? So whenever you do your report, that will show you real time, where is the project? And in this case, it's showing on cost-wise, we are about 94% of budget. Schedule-wise, it was really blown. It took almost 50-60% longer than anticipated. Actually, this is a real project, guys. So yeah, I'm a project manager and I'm developing this, and yet I blew up the estimate on one of the projects because I'm not a technology and a software guy, and obviously this is a learning experience for me to improve the estimate on the next project, right? So in this case, we did well on cost, but we did not do so well on schedule. But this is one time, so this is at the report data. If we want to see a trend, how is the project been performing over time in terms of the cost forecast going up or down, you can see it as a trend. Same thing with the duration, same thing with the completion index. Are we getting behind schedule? And there are other charts here. Some of them have nothing because we did not have data to report. We have issues management, change management status, And you can see that also as a trend over time. You have the change impact and cost and time. You have work package completion, captured lessons, team count, threats and opportunities. So there are many, and of course we continue to build as we continue to enhance the platform and we collect feedback from our customers. So we completed the quick demo, and again, I'm sorry, I repeat that we only wanted to highlight some of the major functions in the platform, and even with this, it's taking us 30 minutes. So this is a comprehensive platform. It includes a lot of information. Right now, it is based on to help us manage project. Soon we will have the program management element. Next year we will have more element. Portfolio management we can have. We will continue to add and enhance. We also will go into the PM function and then start to develop, to take them beyond the simplified version. What we showed you today is simplified. There will be more advances added as we continue to develop the platform. With this, we say thank you. You can reach out to us through social media, through our website. Basically, if you like to have a special demo for your own team, we can arrange that as well. With this, we say thank you, and we wish you success today, tomorrow, and always.